I've kept a naughty little secret from all of you for the last 3 weeks, and I feel it's time to just blow the lid off of this and let the cat out of the bag. I've been playing basketball on Sunday mornings as well, so that means 2 days a week I'm out there becoming the elite hooping machine I was born to be. You might just see me walk on in the Alright, I just hit a full-blown Porky Pig right there. What I was trying to say is I might walk on in the NBA. Totally irrelevant to what we're talking about today, but you should know that I'm out there grinding 2 days a week, pick up basketball. I'm going to be an absolute monster. What's your excuse? Get out there, Buster. Enough lollygagging. We're here to talk about the huge Pokimane drama that everyone is discussing right now. So for those of you that haven't been following, and I imagine a lot of you maybe haven't, though I think there's an equally likely chance that you have... My brain is scrambled. What happened? I left my frontal lobe out on the court today. Alright, post-lobotomy Charlie, gonna try and lock it in here. Pokimane started a snack company called Mina. It's focused on selling healthy cookies right now with her Midnight Minis. And immediately it fell into controversy because the price point is very high for some cookies. $28 for 4 packs of cookies, which comes out to about $7 per bag. There's also a lot more moving parts to this drama because a lot of people started to recognize the similarities between Mina's Midnight Minis and Totsu's Midnight Cookies as well. The ingredients on both of these are pretty much the same, except Mina has some added vitamin D. It's extraordinarily similar, even just giving it the old eyeball test, it looks like the same product. So a lot of people were saying this is a white labeled thing, which is pretty normal in the influencer space, but she's selling her cookies for much more than the Totsu Midnight Cookies. So I'm not here to just really dive into the nitty gritty on the cookie drama itself. There is so much information on it. She's also come out to try and explain that her Midnight Minis are a refined version of those Totsu Midnight Cookies. Like hers are like improved, which is why they're more expensive and this and that. That's not really what I'm here to dive into and get into the weeds of. She recently went on stream today and I think did the worst possible maneuver you could ever do when trying to sell something to your audience.
When people are like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so. Anyways.
Matt was actually the one that sent me this clip today, and I just assumed this had to be some kind of bad joke she tried to tell, but watching the clip, it seems like she's legitimately upset and actually just calling people that don't want to pay for it or can't afford it broke. That's an elite gamer move that I had to take a step back to process that she would just say that publicly. I was so dumbfounded upon hearing that I actually went back to her stream VOD where this happened to try and locate this moment to see what happened next. Because this is only 20 seconds. I thought there was a chance that right after it, she's like, no, just kidding. I'm pulling your leg, hardy har har, just a joke. She doesn't do that.
Like if you're a broke boy, just say so. Anyways, moving on.
If
you want to pay $8 for Twitter Blue for some pixels, that's okay. That's fine. You spend your money how you want. I'll spend mine how I want. And everyone else will spend theirs how they want. That's the beauty of having it.
我给你一点时间，你好好想想，行吗？
She is...
That seems to be where the topic died, at least from what I've skimmed through here. So it doesn't really seem like she was doing this as some kind of, like, side-splitting comedy bit about, like, broke boy, haha, you know, just kidding, I actually love my fans. She does giggle about it afterwards, but it feels more, like, condescending. And then she just says, moving on, like, it's just a really shitty thing to say. And then she does what a lot of other people do, which I find really weird, which is mentioning Twitter Blue for some reason. Like, Twitter Blue offers this dog shit service for $8, you spend your money on some pixels, whatever. You spend your money how you want, and I'll spend my money how I want. Well, yeah, nobody's forced to purchase your product or anything, but they were having a legitimate discussion on the price just being a little out of their comfort zone for what they'd want to spend on it. Like, it's a discussion her own community was having, and then she just, out of nowhere, out of left field's like, if you're broke, just say so. It's like, what the fuck? I have no doubt her manager and her whole team saw this clip and just together took off their hat, stood up, hands on their hips, and they're like, you know what? It was a good try. Hey, we gave it our best whirl. Like, they had to have seen this, and then immediately, like, the office went up in flames. I don't know what would possess her to say something so rude and nasty to the audience she is trying to sell this product to. To directly shame the consumer that you want to buy into your product is a galaxy brain tactic. A strategy that I'm not sure the success rate of. Like, $28, no matter how you spin this, is a lot for some fucking cookies. And I think the way she keeps trying to break it down and rationalize it is pretty disingenuous. It's $7 a bag, and that's still expensive, but then you also have to factor in that the bags aren't even big to begin with. It's 4 ounces per bag. 4 ounces of cookies for $7 is still a lot, especially when you compare it to the product that they're basing it off of and supposedly approved upon, the Totsi Midnight Cookies. Those were $10 a bag for 14 ounces. So even though the Totsi Midnight Cookies were $3 more per bag, they offered you 10 ounces more of product. And they were sold in Costco. A lot of people really enjoyed them, but most people didn't like the price. That was a pain point of that. $10 for a bag of cookies is a lot. So $7 for a smaller bag of cookies, significantly smaller, is a lot too. Like, it doesn't matter how you boil down this math. All roads lead to this being an expensive product. That's the brass tacks of it. That is the hard pill to swallow. There's really no way of spinning this where $28 for a 4-pack of these cookies isn't expensive. It is. And to try and call people broke for not buying it or not being able to afford it is really some out-of-touch shit. And the really foul part about all of this that my little noodle will never be able to wrap itself around is a streamer calling their audience broke or poor. Bub, your wealth was built on their backs. Them watching you supplied you with money through the ads that get played to them. Them directly donating to you took their money and gave it to you. If they weren't watching you, you would be getting no sponsors, which make up a lot of streamers' income. You need them, and you are dropping trouser and shitting in their mouth right now by just insulting them over them having legitimate criticisms over the price point of the product. It makes no sense. Your wealth was accumulated because of these people you're now calling broke and poor. It is incomprehensible to me. You were made from these people that you are now shaming. It's so weird and so fucked up. Now, again, $28 for a 4-pack of cookies is a hard bargain. This is already priced out a normal consumer. This is purely for your fans that want to support you. So they are the only ones that will likely be buying this. $28 is not going to be like mass adopted by just normal snack shoppers and enthusiasts that want a good healthy snack, I don't think. It is a lot, even compared to other healthy alternatives. Because I do get healthy snacks. I know what a lot of these prices are. This is still an expensive product. I wouldn't be paying $28 for a 4-pack of cookies unless that came with 5 strippers and legitimately every vitamin and nutrient my body could ever need, and then guarantee that I'd get 3 inches taller by the time I finish the 4 bags. Now, that's not saying that the quality of the cookies is bad or something. Like, they look good. They might be extraordinary. I probably would enjoy them. They're probably pretty tasty. But they are an expensive product that I probably wouldn't pay for. This is definitely something that is 100% geared and marketed towards her audience of fans that want to support her, and now she is publicly shaming a big chunk of them, I imagine, who don't want to spend $28 on some cookies. Like, it's a very fair thing for people to talk about. Like, hey, Pokimane, this is kind of a lot for the cookies. And for her to go on stream and boil it down to people being idiots who can't do math or a broke boy is just, it's so mean and just bad. Like, not only just from, like, a personality perspective to say some shit like that and shame people that support you, but it's also just bad from a business perspective because this is all sold off of your reputation and people wanting to support you, and now you've done a huge disservice to that here. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's something that 3 years ago she criticized another streamer for. Like, it seems like she recognizes that insulting your audience for their financial situation is a horrible thing to do. Because 3 years ago, she made these tweets in response to someone who was, like, shaming their audience over, like, not donating $5 or subbing for $5. I saw people passing around these tweet links, and, like, she clearly was able to recognize then, like, hey, a lot of people that watch you might not be in the best financial situation, but that doesn't mean you need to be, nasty to them about it or make them feel bad about it or try and shame them or insult them. But then 3 years later, she just did. I don't know how this is going to play out for the future of her new snack company. It's definitely not a great start, not really hitting the ground running. A bit of a stumble here, I would say. But I guess who really knows? Maybe her audience responds really positively to this kind of thing. I'm not certain. Personally, I feel it's a terrible look. I've never really respected when people try and look down on others who have less money than them or insult them for, not being as wealthy as they are. I think that is just absolute trash behavior. So this was a pretty surprising clip to see floated around today. That's really about it. See ya.